All right, welcome back, everybody. We are doing 30 minutes of live side split stretching starting right now. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community with that consistency because you keep coming back, and hopefully to make a little bit of progress towards your side split goals. I've been doing some version of this show for about 9, 10 months now. I can't even remember. And I have definitely made a ton of progress. If you go back into the Instagram account, which is the same name at Splits on the side, you can see my day one and how much progress I've made since then. This is basically the only stretching that I do. And if you do the whole workout really fast, it's only about 15 minutes. It's a much longer video because I do a lot of explaining to make sure that beginners and new people joining the community have a chance to understand what they're doing on that first day. So it increases their chances of coming back and joining us for a second day, a third day, and hopefully being a part of the community. All right. And that's it for the intro blurb. My name is Ken. And if you don't know, that's pretty normal because I forget to introduce myself every single day. All right, we are getting started with our warm ups. Let's get into hip cars. Hip cars are all about moving our legs through this full range of motion at our hips using our hip muscles. All right, that means we're trying to get our leg into the weakest position that we can hold it essentially because the end range of motion is typically where we're weak because we never train the end range of motion, and then we're trying to strengthen it, getting it mobile, and hopefully all of that will help keep your legs really limber into old age, maybe. All right, let's go. We're gonna start with high knee, and I know I'm wearing a lot of dark colors, so this is gonna be hard to see. I'm gonna try and angle off to the side just a little bit. High knee, keep that knee as high as possible. That open up that hip, pointed directly to the right or left, depending on how the algorithm or whatever mirrors the image or not. Rotate that hip so that the knee and the ankle are both as high as possible. I'm going to keep spinning around and be off balance so that you can see what my leg is doing. And then finally, from here, bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull your hip back, and that is a full rotation. All right, we're gonna do that 10 times on both legs. Now keep talking us through it so you don't have to actually remember everything. Ready? High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. Feel free to stick out your hands to help you balance, or just grab onto something altogether so you don't have to work so hard. Ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. High knee, open, ankle, down and back. If you're just joining in, we do side splits training every single day to practice consistency, build community, and make a little bit of progress towards our side split goals. We're just at the very beginning doing warm ups. These are called hip cars, and we just did all of them on one side. Let's switch to the other side. What we're doing right now is high knee, opening up that hip, rotate the legs so that the ankle and the knee are as high as possible. Bring that leg down and back. We're doing 10 of these on each side. This is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. All right, shake it out. We're about to go in reverse. You will lose a leg doing that. I've actually made a joke, and actually, I'm going to repeat that joke. We're going to go in reverse now. And what we're going to do is bring the leg down and back as far back as possible, feeling that stretch in the front of the leg. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull it all back. Then lift directly out to the side as if you're about to kick somebody. We've made a joke in the past about like imagining that this position is kicking somebody in the head. And then I guess in the chat, we discussed about how it'd be a really small person. That'd be a really mean thing to do. And so not necessarily lose a leg, but lose a head, and whatever. Losing stuff during leg movements. All right, cool. Let's keep going. From here, I want you to rotate that hip so that the ankle is down, the knee is up. Then bring everything in so it's a high knee. I know it's hard to see because more in dark colors, so I'm gonna cheat at a little bit of an angle so you can see that I'm lifting that knee as high as possible. All right, down and back, side, rotate so the ankle is down, knee. We're gonna do 10 of these total. three, four. What we're doing is called hip cars. CARS stands for controlled articulated rotations. And what we're trying to do is make sure that our muscles at that end range of motion, the maximum range of motion that your leg can get into, stay strong so that you can stay mobile and move well. All right, I think this is like 8. I'm super off balance because I did the first couple really slow and I was talking so much. Now this balancing leg is like all tired. Oh, luckily we just did 10. I get to shake it out, turn this one into the leg that moves around. All right, 10 more going backwards on this side. Hip cars, we're going backwards. Back, side, ankle, knee, back, side. Like we're going to kick somebody. Rotate that leg down, ankle down, knee forward, back, side, ankle, knee, back, side, ankle, knee. I think this is 5, 6. If you are struggling keeping up, that's okay. Take your time with this. I talk a lot and do way too much explaining because I want to make sure that uh, people who have never been here before have a chance to understand what we're doing before we rush forward. And that means you got plenty of time to finish while I explain things. Whew. However, that means I'm out of breath a lot. All right. We just wrapped up a whole bunch of hip cars, 10 on the left side, 10 on the right side going forward, and 10 on the left, 10 on the right going backwards. That is hip cars as our first warm up exercise. We're going to the second warm up exercise, and that is the elephant walk. What I want you to do is get into this L shape. Try to get your back relatively straight and just hang out. If you want to do a little bit of a butt wiggle to feel a little bit of this hamstring stretch, great. If you want to try to bring your belly button down as low as it can go, even better. Just hang out here. You should feel the stretch building in your hamstrings. And since this is part of the warm up, we're just doing a little bit of light movement until they loosen up. All right. As you're moving, I want you to focus on bending one knee and sticking all of your weight into the straight leg and trying to bring your belly button down as much as possible. Right now, the bent leg is slightly in front of my straight leg. And I find that that makes the stretch a little bit more intense. You can experiment and try how you want to. And yesterday, for the first time ever, I actually did the walking part of the elephant walk, which it's gonna look a little goofy. Looks a little bit like this, but it helps you keep each leg in front of the other when you get to stretching that particular one. All right. And you can do the exact opposite. I was walking around with the bent. I don't know what I was doing. Honestly, I'm gonna have to review. But if you want to do a version where the foot in front is straight and the foot behind is bent, and work on bending that way, that is fine as well. So as long as you get your hamstrings loosened up, warmed up, and prepared to do way more intense work in our side splits. All right. So these are the elephant walks. And if you found these really fun, that's amazing. You can keep doing them this exact way. If you want to figure out how to make these a little bit more interesting and spend the same amount of time getting a little bit more care done for your body, watch this. Let's get back into that L shaped position, turn both knees straight. And I said that, but then immediately I'm telling you to bend your left knee, straighten out your right leg, grab your left hand, grab your right leg, open up your chest to the right, stick your right arm up into the sky, use your eyes, look at that hand, and try to point that hand behind you. All right, come back down. That is a thoracic rotation. Thoracic is just a fancy word for the top third of your back, top half of your back. And thoracic rotation is basically just twisting. But that part of your back is designed to twist, and it's designed to twist really well. The top third of your back is designed to move really well. So you want to make sure that whenever you get the chance to, you actually use your back to do things. All right. And a lot of the lifting culture, you spend a lot of time with your chest up and your back really straight doing deadlifts or squats. And you train one set of muscles in the back for that when in reality you got a lot of different muscles that you need to get a little bit of love to your back. All right. I have absolutely no idea how many of these twist things I've done, but I think I've done enough. Hope you're ready to move on from the second warm up exercise to the third warm up exercise, the Cossack switch. I'm going to pop over real quick and check out the chat and see what I am missing. Magical, I am from the US. Strawberry, thank you for the likes. I really appreciate it. Are there any other chats I need to address? I don't think so. All right, let's move on to warm up exercise number three. We're doing the Cossack switch. All right. What that looks like is we're going to open up our legs a little bit wider. I'm going to scoot back so that the camera can capture all of my body. And we're going to try and drop down to one side. All right. We want to feel that stretch in the Achilles tendon in the back of the leg. We want to feel a little bit of pressure in the front of the ankle here. We want to feel pressure here in that hip socket because it's basically what we're trying to do. You might feel a little bit of pressure in the knee. If it's uncomfortable, you can always come back a little bit, come out of that deep position, and you can experiment with what works for you. What I want you to keep in mind is I want your feet and your toes to be in the same line. I'm rotating my whole body so you can see it this way. All right. My knee is above my toe. It's not out here, it's not in there. And there's a time and a place to train that type of movement. It's just not what we're doing here right now at this exact moment. All right. So come on back down into that position and chill here for a little bit. Feel that stretch in the ankle, stretch in the hip. And on this side, I want you to notice my heel is down and my toes are up. This is called external rotation. We're going to use this real soon for the actual side splits. And if you're just joining in, we're doing 30 minutes of side split stretching and we're just warming up. So for the side splits, we're going to use this position to help us get into a deeper side split. I'm pointing out now. So that you know what I'm talking about when I do when I say external rotation, but I point to it and I call it every single time. So you don't have to actually remember. It's just a little, hey, look what's coming type of thing. Foreshadowing, they call it. All right. Anyways, we're gonna do the switch part of the Cossack switch. What that means is we're gonna try and keep our butts as low as possible and come over to the other side and get into that exact same position, except instead of on your right leg, on your left leg. I'm pretty sure YouTube mirrors it, so it'll look like I went from my left leg to my right leg. Whenever I say a direction that doesn't make sense to you, just ignore it. Just pretend it's the right direction. Okay. All right. Same thing. Ankle, feel that pressure, feel that stretch in the Achilles and the calf, feel that pressure in the hip. And same thing. Heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. Hang out here for a couple of seconds. And now that we've taken that first one nice and slow, we can start speeding things up. All right. Here's two and three and four. We're just doing five. I know we've done a bunch of tens. We're just doing five. If you really want to, though, I can't stop you. You can do as many as you want. Like for example, this is number six and seven. All right. Whew. Come on out of that. Shake out your leg, shake out your arms, loosen up. We're about to get into our stretches. I think I saw a comment come in. I'm gonna just double check real quick. There's a difference between the Cossack switch and the Cossack squat, just that for one you move whereas you stay still for the other one. Great question. The main difference between a Cossack switch and a Cossack squat is that in between the deep positions in the squat you come up, right? So this is typically what we refer to or the internet refers to as the squat. And the switch is more about keeping this groin really, really stretched and going from side to side. All right, question is answered. Let's move on. We're getting into our stretches. I hope you're warmed up from all the exercises that we just did. The stretches are a little bit more intense, but they're not as cardio-y, if that makes sense. All right, first stretch is the hamstring stretch. And for a long time, I was doing the hamstring stretch without really feeling the hamstring stretch because I was just going, whatever. What I really want you to be very, very observant of is how intense the hamstring stretch can feel. All right. So there's two things that I want to talk about. But first, let's drop down to one knee. And if you need to grab a cushion to protect that knee because you got some old joints that need some extra love. I do too. I say old joints, but it's really Just a sad reminder to myself. All right. And from here, you can try to keep this leg up and down. You don't have to open it up like we're doing a side split or anything. And let's take the other leg and try to bring it out in front of our bodies. All right. If this also hurts, you can get some flippy floppies. You can get a sneakers. You can also get another cushion. I recommend you be a little bit careful because if you don't have control over the position and you have slidey things on both sides, maybe you'll slide into the position that's uncomfortable for you. All right. But if your heels stay in the same place, for the most part, we can get into this hamstring stretch. I want you to focus on folding at the hips, and I want you to imagine bringing the belly button down into the ground. All right. I want you to feel the bottom of your butt bone right here, and imagine trying to shift your hips so that the bottom of your butt bone points back or as close to that direction as possible. Obviously, it'll be difficult and it won't be perfect, but I want you to imagine that because that helps you to tilt your pelvis forward. Your pelvis is just the hip, this giant set of bone over here. And that getting tilted is what is the primary driver of this hamstring stretch. All right. Now that we've done and talked about both those things, I hope your hamstring is starting to complain and be really unhappy with you and going, "What the heck are you doing? This sucks." If that's the case, then you're doing great. All right. From here, I want you to keep focusing on bring your belly button down to the ground. It's not so important where your chest is or where your head is, because you can see my belly button is not moving, but my chest and my head can go all these different places. All right. From here, take a couple of breaths. Exhale and slowly see if you can get into a deeper hamstring stretch. Usually, a lot of this tension in the muscle is from our own subconscious, like discomfort and fear. If this is your first time doing this, your body will be like, "Whoa, what the heck?" And then it'll be tight. Sometimes you're just stressed from the rest of the day, and that magically keeps the rest of your body also stressed for no real reason that serves you as an individual. Just constant reminder you're stressed. But if you take a couple of nice deep breaths, relax a little bit, might help with the hamstring stretch. All right, that's way more explaining than I was expecting to do. That is my bad. Let's try to bring the belly button down to the ground and hold that pressure steady for 30 seconds, and we'll be done with this hamstring stretch. We'll move on to the other leg. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh my gosh. All right. Bring that leg in. Give it some loving taps or something. Shake it out. And let's get over to the other side and keep going. All right. Man, my hamstrings are tired already. All right. Drop down to that knee, set up for the next one. And same thing. Try to bring the belly button down. Imagine that bottom of your butt bone pointing straight back or trying to tilt the hip until it points straight back is more likely than not it'll be, down at an angle, and that's fine. Just want you to imagine what things could be so that you know what to aim for. All right. Okay. Couple of deep breaths. Oh man, I relaxed too much. Suddenly it's so tight. All right, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let's get out of the hamstring stretch. I don't think I need to talk about it anymore. Get rid of that pillow. We don't need it. And congratulations, we're done with one out of our five stretches. We got four more to go. The fifth one is a side split. We're doing 3 rounds of that. So we're actually, closer to like 1 out of 8 than 1 out of 5. But it's nicer to say 1 out of 5. All right, next we're up, we're going to do the butterfly stretch. And what that looks like is I'm going to sit down, bring our feet together, and try to bring our knees down to the ground. You can do this from here, but I really recommend you stick your shoulders, your hips, and your head up against the wall. So I'm going to go do that right now. And when you are against the wall, you'll be able to use the wall to help apply pressure to your hips. And I'll show you that in just a second. Once you are at the wall, pull the feet in towards you, your knees will pop up, and that's totally normal. I want you to use your outer thigh muscles and your glutes to open up your hips as much as possible. And then once it no longer opens, you can take your time. You can take a couple of seconds to really work those muscles with your other muscles. Then, once you cannot get any deeper, take your hands and apply pressure. When I'm doing this, my head is pushing against the wall and is helping me to apply pressure so that my legs stay open, I guess. All right, 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. I felt like I counted a little fast. Let's just do a couple more seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Let the arms go. If your legs are kind of stuck in this position for some reason, you can always give yourself a little helping hand to get a little bit of movement back. And then you can use your own muscles to sort of flap the butterfly. And once your legs are back to normal and working like usual, it's time to move on to our third stretch, the standing pancake. Ooh, I'm off balance. All right. So standing pancake looks a little bit like this. So this is your legs, your lower body, and this is your upper body. You want to go boom. Is really freaking difficult. So the standing pancake lets you use gravity to help pull your upper body down. Makes it a little bit easier to get into position. All right. That's why we do it this way, because it helps make life a little bit easier, even though, we're trying really hard to make it really difficult for ourselves. All right, for the standing pancake, because there's a chance you can fall backwards, the way I recommend you set this up is to take one step in front of the wall, right? And the reason why I recommend that is because if you fall backwards, the wall will catch you. No big deal. If you fall backwards like this, it'll catch you. You go, oh my God, the wall will catch you. All right. Next up, from here, I want you to open up your legs nice and wide, as wide as comfortable. If it gets to some place where you're like, oh, okay, this is a little bit uncomfortable here in the hip joint, you can always stop, come up just a little bit until the discomfort goes away. Next, I want you to fold at the hips. All right. Imagine sticking that butt bone right behind you into the wall. All right. And same thing, we're trying to bring the belly button into the ground. It's always about the belly button, it's always about the ground. And from here, I'm going to rotate. You guys can stay in the same position, but I just want to demonstrate. If you have your feet like this, then with your hips directly over your feet, that's one way to get set up. But you can always stick your hips as far back as possible, maybe even touch the wall behind you. Stick your arms out in front of you and get a little bit more leverage. If you try it, you'll see that suddenly this stretch gets so much more difficult in your groin and in your hips, and you can choose to stick with that. If you want to go even harder, you can grab your leg and you can try to pull yourself down into a deeper position. Whatever you want to do, pick it, and you can change in between. You can give up and you can switch to the other at any time. No pressure. I don't care. I can't see you anyway. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Remember, belly button down to the ground. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Oh, hands down. Come on up out of that stretch. If you did it right, you'll feel the stretch in two different places primarily. One, on the inner thighs, because those are the muscles that are getting stretched when you spread the legs. The other place where you should feel the stretch is right here in the hamstrings, maybe just under the glutes. And that's because you're folding forward. And anytime you fold forward, your hamstrings get a whooping. That's why we do the hamstring stretch to start, so that when we do the standing pancake, you suffer a little bit less, maybe, possibly, whatever. Let's go into stretch number four. For number four, we're doing the figure four or the pigeon stretch. It's called the figure four because we bring our ankle across our body, and that looks like the number four, right? So what we're doing is bring that leg across the body, and then we're trying to bring our chest down towards that leg. And what we're supposed to feel in this stretch is the sort of outer glute area, this hip area getting stretched. There's two ways to do this. That's why I called it the figure four or the pigeon. And if you do it with your chest down, so we'll take that figure four leg, climb over here. Oh man, maybe I shouldn't have demoed it that way. That was a crazy way to do that. This right here is the pigeon stretch. And you can adjust it by changing the angle of your ankle. You can adjust it by bringing your chest down and focus on trying to keep your hips and your chest low as possible. Or if you want to do the version on your back, then you can cross your ankle over to the opposite knee, reach your arms through, and pull that knee in. And you'll start feeling that stretch out here immediately. Whatever it is that you want to do, get ready. We're going to hold it for 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, relax that leg and get ready to do the other. If you are just joining in, we're doing 30 minutes of live side split stretching. We're approaching the end. We're about to do 3 rounds of side splits. We're going to do one more pigeon or figure four stretch. And if you have been on for a little bit and you're having fun, you're enjoying this type of content, please hit follow, subscribe so that you can get notified and come back when we do the next round. We do this every single day. So make sure you are here tomorrow and the day after that. No pressure. All right. Figure four, pigeon. Let's do it. Last leg. Ugh. I did the figure four stretch on my back in the previous round about 20 seconds ago. This time I'm going to do the pigeon. Ankle comes across the body, and we're trying to keep our hips and chest low. Make sure you feel the stretch. Some people don't actually feel anything and just hang out here and take a nap. That's not the goal. We're trying to get better at stuff. All right. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. All right, come on up. It's time to get into our side splits. I have not checked the chat in a while, so I'm gonna come back and check the chat real quick. Talking America, what's up? What's up? I don't know if you're still on, but sorry, I'm just seeing your message now. Um, let's see, anybody else that has commented? I'm just scrolling back in chats real quick. It doesn't seem like there's anything to address. So in that case, let's get into our side splits, wrap up our 3 rounds, and call it for the day. All right. If you're just doing the side splits for the first time and you're not really sure what you're doing yet, I recommend you, and I very, very heavily recommend you do this next to a wall with the wall behind you. Take one step forward, and with that one step, you have enough room to do stuff. But more importantly, if you lose your balance and you start falling backwards, the wall will catch you. All right. Whether it's down here or in this position, the wall, if it's close enough, will catch you and you should feel safe. All right. Ooh, excuse me. If you are ready, it's time for the side splits. Let's go. Open up the legs nice and wide and chill for a second here. When it's uncomfortable at the hips, fold forward, put your hands down like you're about to do some push ups. In this position, I want you to externally rotate your legs. What that means is your heels are down on the ground, your toes are up, and your knee is pointing up. I want you to do that on both legs. All right. If you have both your hands down, there's less pressure in your legs, so it's easier to rotate. And that's why we have these push up hands. All right. From here, you'll have noticed possibly that my hips are already magically getting wider, even though I just said my hips hurt. And that is because your leg bones and your hip bones, for most people, crash into each other if you're just doing this standing. But if you rotate the leg, that bone shifts out of the way for most people, and suddenly you'll be able to get into a deeper side split looking position. All right. From here, walk your hands back towards your hips. This helps you to shift your body weight back towards your hips, and that helps you to put more of your body weight right into your hips and help you get into a deeper side split stretch. All right. If you can no longer get any deeper, this is a great place to stop. We're going to start the countdown real soon. If you want to try, you can do a little wiggle from side to side. Try to see if you can push your leg out further. I think I'm stuck. With that, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, crawl forward, crawl out of that position, bring your legs together, and come on up. If you did that right, it's highly possible your legs don't work right now. And what we got to do for the next 20, 30 seconds while we rest in between our three side splits is make sure our legs are working again by the time we get back into a third or into the next one. So I like to do a combination of little movements to help get the muscles back to working. The first one is sort of this like hula hooping exercise. And what I want you to really feel stretched out is these two front hip flexory muscles out here. Once that seems loose, you can do some mini squats. Make sure your ankles are working, your knees are feeling okay. Then, once you do some high knees, and then finally, a couple of these little butt kicking things. If your legs are feeling good, then it's time to continue. If you feel like you're still feeling a little bit weird, add a couple more shakes, do a couple more of those exercises real quick, and should be back to normal. All right, let's go for round two of side splits. If somehow you're just joining in, you're catching us right at the end of the side splits, then you're in the most fun part, but also the hardest part. And we do like 25 minutes of warm up prior to this point. So I don't know if I am pleased you're here this late or sorry for you, but we're doing side splits and we do 30 minutes of side split stretching every single day. And it's for consistency for me and you. We use that consistency to build a little bit of community, and hopefully everybody makes a little bit of progress towards their side split goals. All right, if you're having fun, if you're enjoying the chit chat, please consider subscribing and following so that you can come back for more of this and you can practice your own consistency and we can get to more side splits together. All right, let's get into a side split position. Open up those legs nice and wide. Put your hands down for some push-ups, but we're not actually doing the push-ups. We're just putting the body weight into our hands so that we can externally rotate the legs. Externally rotating means your heel is down and your toes are up and your knees are up. All right. We're gonna do that on both sides. And I switched into socks just now because yesterday I was having a little bit of issue trying to get into a deeper position because friction was way too hard. And it might have just been that it was more humid yesterday, so my skin was a little grippy. But I'm solving that today with socks. I do not recommend you put on socks and do it this way if it's your first couple of times doing side splits, because if you're have no control, it's a little slippery. All right. Next, walk your hands back towards your hips so that more of your body weight is right over your legs that you're trying to stretch. And do a little wiggle from side to side to see if you can open up those legs even further. When you can no longer get any further, it's time to start your side splits. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, for all those hands forward. Come on, out of that side split stretch. Oh man, my legs are working even worse the last time. Oh, come on up, back into standing, and shake out those legs. Do a little dance, wiggle, whatever you need to do to get the legs back working. Same thing, especially after the second one. I feel like the front of the hips, for me at least, feel way tighter. And then this hula hoop thing that I do feels way more useful and better. Let me know if you disagree. And oh, my knees, some mini squats and butt kickers. All right. I like to take a couple extra seconds after the second one because the third one is the last one and we want to be well rested for the final attempt. But also because you probably worked really hard on that second one after loosening up on the first one. The first one, I think, sort of sets the tone, and then the second one, you tend to be a little bit deeper than the first one, and it tends to hurt a little bit more. I don't know if hurt is the right word. It's not comfortable, right? All right. I hope you're ready for round three because we're getting into it. If you're just joining in, I recommend, and it's your earlier attempts at a side split, I recommend you stay really close to a wall and close to it such that if you start falling backwards because you lose balance, the wall will catch you and keep you safe. All right. Other than that, let's get going. Open up those legs nice and wide, fold at the hips. Put your hands down like you're about to do a push up with the weight in your hands. Externally rotate the legs so that your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are pointing up. From there, walk your hands back towards your hips and see if you can sink down deeper into a side split stretch. Add a little bit of a wiggle from side to side. When I do the side to side thing now, because I have zero friction in my feet, I just go from side to side and continue to go back and forth instead of just opening up one side or the other. So it's kind of weird, but that's it. Let's get our 30 seconds of side split stretching and call it for the day. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, bring the legs together, crawl your arms forward, come on back up into standing, and once again, shake, wiggle, do whatever it is you got to do. Oh, okay. While we recover our muscles and figure out how to walk again, I have to remind you to follow and subscribe if you had fun, because we do this every single day. So practice consistency. Hopefully, with enough people practicing consistency, we build up a nice, strong little community of people doing side splits. And oh, that means we'll have a whole bunch of people having fun together, getting more flexible, getting a little bit healthier, and what a good place to be that is. All right. Oh, I hope you are all cooled down, shook your legs out, worked around a little bit to make sure your hips are still working, because that's important. The side split is really stressful, and if you just immediately walk away and go do other stuff, I don't know, it'll be a little bit uncomfortable. So move around, get that blood flowing, and with that, we are all wrapped up. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to live side splits today. We have done, oh man, 40 minutes, 40 minutes of live side split stretching. And I appreciate you all for showing up and practicing consistency with me. I hope you had fun. And I hope you feel like you made a little bit of progress towards your side splits. I definitely feel like I'm making a lot of progress these last 2 days. So I'm really happy. I am working on potentially doing a really intense month next month because it's about to be 11 months into this side split journey. Usually I do just this short-ish thing of 5 stretches and 3 warm-ups, and it takes anywhere between 15 and 41 minutes to do it. And I think because I'm about to hit the 1 year on the starting date of that process, I'm going to pick up the intensity and try to nail the side split with a more intense and tougher workout. If that is of interest, let me know in the comments. And yeah, well, I'll keep you posted. All right. That's it for me. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in and practicing side splits with me. I will see you later. Thank you, Queen R. Intense for me. Yes, yes, indeed. But you'll be excited to see. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know that you'd love watching me suffer. I appreciate it. All right, that's it. I don't know if some other regulars are on and just keeping quiet, but Tina, if you're on, thank you for coming as always. And yeah, I hope to see you all soon. Goodbye.